So if you've never caught lake trout from your boat or kayak, I'm going to show you a couple of things that will help with that. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Nick. I've caught about 35 lake trout since the beginning of the year. I basically just go fishing and teach everyone what I learned, which is honestly becoming more and more rare in the fishing community today. If you know, you know. So the main technique that I like to use is trolling. It's super easy. You basically just throw everything behind the boat and drive the boat. Like, it's not super hard, but your gear does have to be dialed in. So what we got here is my trolling rods. It's a 6'6" ugly stick. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. It's kind of like in the middle. There's still a lot of bend. So, I mean, we're trout fishing, so you don't want something super heavy that's gonna rip the lures out of their mouths. And then my reel is a Bass Pro Depth Master. It has a little line counter, which is that black square on the reel. And these are pretty nice. They've worked quite well, honestly. And I have it spooled up with a bunch of lead core line, which is basically just braided line that has lead core, or a lead core. It's like this little thin strand of lead that just runs through the entire spool of line. And this helps get your lures down to whatever depth you want them to be at. And it's also colored in like different segments, so every 30 feet is a different color, and every color gets your lure down about 5 to 7 feet, which is pretty nice. You don't have to spend money on downriggers if you don't have it, although you will be reeling in like hundreds of feet of line if you want to get your lures down there to about 40 feet, which is where I'm fishing today. So I was cranking in like 450 feet of line, which I really don't care about. I do whatever it takes to catch the fish, but if you do care, you may want to consider buying expensive downriggers. It's kind of like pick your poison. And if you don't know how to like rig all this up, I have a video already on this exact setup. So if you want to go watch that, feel free. And I'll also be making a newer revised version of that. And then the lure here that I'm using is a little Clio spoon. It's a gold spoon. And what I like about it is if you look here, see that bend? That bend will catch water and cause it to go all over the place, which is actually really good for lake trout from what I've noticed. They like just a bunch of action, like craziness like that. A lot of you probably know what Cast Master spoons are. They're one of the most popular spoons, but I honestly don't like them for trolling because they don't get that same crazy action as something like this would, because Cast Masters don't have that curve in them that will catch water. And then another lure I like to use for lake trout is something called the Yakima Flatfish. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'll put it up on screen. It's just like a little plug. It's kind of curved like a banana almost, and it just goes crazy like this. So I've caught a lot of freaking lake trout on that, dude. And I'll have all this linked down below for you. And then I'm looking at my fish finder right here, and it's not super useful for this kind of fishing, although watching your depth is definitely useful, but I'm talking about like looking at fish here. So, but after that mark, it didn't take very long for me to get a bite. So watch this left rod here. Heck yeah, dude. It takes a minute because we have 450 feet of line out, but this feels like a good one. I'm gonna sit down here and fight them. Actually, wait, we gotta get to the side. So yeah, all the fish came on the little Clio today. It just really works. You still catch fish on Cast Masters. The little Clio has just crushed the Cast Masters. So, and something super important that will help you catch and land more of these lake trout is you're not setting the hook super hard when you get a bite. A lot of times these fish will just come up and kind of swipe at the lure and catch maybe one or two of the trebles, and they won't be hooked super well. So if you set the hook super hard, you're gonna miss the fish. So I just like to keep constant tension and just slowly reel in that line, let the fish fight. Let him pull if he needs to, and you should land most of the fish. But again, you will miss some bites because they just come up and swipe it. And also have a net. Like, I'm an idiot, and I actually left my net somewhere, and I came back 30 minutes later and it was stolen. So, and there you go. There's a nice lake trout. Most of them are in like the 15 to 22 inch range. Although some of them get to like 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Very rare though nowadays. Now if you're wondering if lake trout, or Mackinaw as some people call it, if you're wondering if it actually tastes good, it does. It's very different from rainbow trout. I've done it multiple ways. I smoked it, and I didn't really like it smoked as much as I liked it in the pan with butter, lemon, and some like herb seasoning. It was probably some of the best trout I've had. I honestly like it more than rainbow trout because it's more firm and flaky than rainbow trout. Rainbow trout, I've noticed it can kind of be mushy, and I just don't like it as much as lake trout. So don't be sleeping on the lake trout. If you go out there and catch some, definitely take it home. You'd be surprised. So I ended the day with 3 lake trout, all around like 19 inches, so it's actually pretty solid. I was only out there trolling for about 2-3 hours, so not bad. And there's some days where you're gonna absolutely crush them, and then other days it's just you'll get like one throughout the entire trip. So you just gotta put in the time and dial into your specific lake, find what works. And if you made it this far, honestly, respect to you, because I don't make like hyper stimulating fishing videos where there's music on every hook set and all that bull crap. But I wanted to ask a question. Do you think that like having an online fishing community where we could do like tournaments, calls, courses, all that kind of stuff, you could learn everything about any species, talk to me, talk to other people, do you think that would be valuable? I would honestly like to do it just because I feel like it'd be a lot of fun. It would be super chill too. If you think that would be cool, let me know, because I could definitely make it happen. I just need enough people to want to actually do it. If you think that would be cool, let me know. And yeah, that's all I got. I hope this helps you catch more lake trout. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.